Tonight, Action News Jax investigates a massive number of hit-and-run crashes that have not led to arrests, even though Florida has the toughest laws in the country.
These crashes include people who have been injured or even been killed. Action News Jax Ben Becker found out why investigators are striking out.
They're just getting away with it.
Does it feel any different than a murder?
A car is a weapon also, just like a gun is a weapon.
Bridget Massey misses her late son, Michael England.
What kind of person was Michael?
Michael was a very outgoing, loving person. He loved life to the fullest.
But England lost his life to a hit-and-run driver here at the corner of Pitts and Slay Roads in northwest Jacksonville.
These were the good times.
Yeah.
Action News Jax first told you about England in 2013 and memorials since his death.
The memorial for Michael England has been here for about 2 years now. He was hit and killed by a driver walking down this road, and his family needs answers.
At the time, Massey said she wanted justice.
If this was an accident, then I understand, but my family still needs closure.
But 10 years have passed, and the driver is still out there. And Massey's not alone. Action News Jax has introduced you over the years to dozens of families.
Our Father, who art in heaven,
who've been victimized by hit-and-run drivers.
Who would just leave somebody's child on the side of the road with no help at all.
In an Action News Jax investigation, I discovered there's an epidemic of hit-and-run crashes across Florida, many of them unsolved. Since 2018, according to the Department of Motor Vehicles, there have been nearly 600,000 hit-and-runs involving people and or property across the state, more than 127,000 injuries, and 1,400 deaths. But despite the numbers, very few people are ever arrested or convicted.
It's an incredible number.
Dale Carson is Action News Jax law and safety expert.
It's just difficult to prosecute it because you got to have a motive.
Since 2018, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement says just 85 people have been found guilty of a first-degree felony hit-and-run across the state. In Duval County, the state attorney's office says it's convicted 12 people. Carson believes law enforcement doesn't have the resources it needs to track down all the suspects.
And you only have so many investigators to investigate these matters.
AAA reports penalties for a hit-and-run vary greatly across the country, from jail time to just community service. In Florida, a fatal hit-and-run conviction could result in up to 30 years behind bars, which is the stiffest penalty in the nation, but it rarely happens. I emailed JSO about the death of Michael England, and he said currently detectives have no additional investigative leads. I asked JSO, what about paint samples from a car? Were they ever sent to the FBI's paint analysis lab, which has a massive database? I was told any evidence requiring testing typically would be sent to FDLE, but no samples were sent in this case. When I asked why, I never heard back.
What have police told you?
I haven't heard from my detective in probably 8-9 years.
This leaves the state attorney's office in a difficult position to prosecute these types of cases, a spokesperson told me. Vehicular crashes involving death are tragic. These investigations are unique from all other cases we handle and often take time to investigate and solve. As for Massey,
how often do you cry?
I cry all the time, especially around his birthday, holidays.
Now, one Florida lawmaker is trying to address the hit-and-run issue. A proposed bill would require auto repair shops to request crash reports or file a form with police before fixing cars. The form would include information on the customer, the vehicle, and a description of the damage. The bill has to make it through committee before it could possibly be voted on early next year. For local coverage you can count on, Ben Becker, Action News Jax.